For today's session, we're going to be talking about WEBtips for Winshuttle. On the odd months, we talk about the desktop tools, the transaction and query tools. And on the even months, such as today, we talk about the forms and workflow space. So today's Winshuttle WEBtips topic is going to be about Process BI and the Winshuttle workflow components and how we can use dashboards with a plug-and-play methodology to get real-time information on the workflows that you already have in process. So what is Process BI? Process BI is a ClearProcess-owned solution that integrates with ClickSense as its platform. ClickSense is a already on-the-market BI and dashboarding platform. So ClearProcess Solutions has leveraged that to create custom dashboard solution for your Winshuttle forms and workflows. It's plug and play, so when we install it and point it to your Winshuttle workflow database, it works automatically. There's no cubing and old school data set up for BI. We point directly to your Winshuttle workflow database, and that's all we need to get you that value up and running pretty quickly. It's device agnostic, meaning that it can work on your iPad, it can work on your tablet, it can work on any browser that's HTML5 compatible. So that would be IE, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, those common tools. It's expandable and automatically scales, meaning you can add new users relatively easily just by procuring additional licenses. And as you add new processes into your environment, maybe you're doing a material master process or finance process, as you kick off those new processes, these dashboards automatically pick them up. So there's no additional configuration that you need to do to start capturing that information. And it's affordable. And we can talk about how to contact us at the end of the WEBtips here to talk about a demonstration specifically for your team and a little bit about pricing as well. So let's just jump into the dashboard again for the second time. I've hopefully piqued your interest with some pictures, even though you can't hear me. So Process BI is trying to tell two different stories. It's trying to tell you what's going on with your current processes and what is happening with processes historically. So when we look as a process owner, what's going on, we need to know, okay, well, what's happened in the past so I can provide some kind of process improvement over historical information. So when I'm doing the items on the left here, open processes, those are things that are running now. So that's the other side of the story we're trying to tell with this tool, is what's happening now. So it's nice to have that historical data, but let's keep the processes that are in flight going as well, so we can keep those on track, or if we can find any roadblocks within those processes. So those are the two stories. What's happened historically and what's going on right now. So let's take a look at some of these dashboards that we have. So within the dashboards or the graphics we're looking at, we're going to take a look at that at two levels. We're going to take a look at them for by process, and then we can drill down into the task level as well. So when we're looking at processes here, these are things that have already finished on the left, and these are things that are still open, processes that are still open on the right. So we have a rolling month, and our data is just a demo data, so it's getting a little old here. We're going to have to refresh that. So we have a rolling 12-month data set, so we can compare October of 2016 to October 2015. Actually, we're even a year older. So when you pick your data set, this is showing all of your processes that have finished by month started. So if I want to know what happened in April, I can select April, and you can see that all of the graphics automatically filter the rest of the data based upon what happened in April. So for the processes that were started in April, we see that we have 1,500 of them that are completed, and we only have 59 of them that are still open that started in April. And we can try to get into the additional details. So we have some generic process names down here. You can tell, process 9 has 36 processes that are open. Whatever that process may be for you. That could be a material master process or a vendor creation process, whatever it may be. We just have generic names here for demonstration purposes. So as you select something, it automatically filters all of the rest of the graphics for the entire dashboard set based upon that filter. So if you wanted to remove that filter, you can up in the top left, select the little X, and remove that filter. Okay, so if you want to pick a particular process, you could do the same. I picked all processes by month, but if I want to pick a particular process, I could do that as well. So if I want to see what the deal is with process 9, I can see how many, trending. It looks like December 15, we're starting to track up a little bit. And in July, which is when our data set was taken, we have the limited usage because it's probably early in the month when we took the snapshot. But you can see that things are trending up here. And you can also see that we have some really old processes that are still open. So maybe I need to go hunt down, which process that is. And I can see what tasks are available once I drill into that as well. So this first graphic gives you an idea of processes at a high level. How many, when did they start, when did they finish, and how many are open for that process. Let's get that sheet. So this one is sort of what's going on right now. People often want to know what's going on with items that are in flight. Everyone wants to know, well, what's past due? Where are our problems at right now? So we have a graphic that's dedicated just to past due tasks, and you can see all of the usernames here. These are, again, just generic usernames. And you can see that, this user has 50 open tasks. So we can go through and try to identify, I select that user, and I can see they have a certain number of tasks for MDM, MDM approval, MDM capture, whatever those tasks may be. So you can try to hone in on a particular user and try to understand what tasks that they have that are still open, and you could go hunt down where your bottlenecks are with the processes that are in flight. So the next thing we can look at, so we have an idea of tasks that are available. So we talked about processes that are in flight. Let's take a look about tasks that are in flight for those processes. So now we're down at the task level. You can see the number of tasks that have been started by month, and these are the completed tasks on the left. So in June, we had 54,000 tasks that were kicked off in June that were completed. And if we look at June over here, we still have 937 tasks that are still open for processes that were kicked off. I'm sorry, that was July. We have 53 tasks that are still open from June. So, you can see how your tasks are aging. And again, this is summarized by process. So if I take a look at process 9, I can see where all of my tasks are that are still open for process 9 and when they started. Now, if I wanted to drill it down into that, so we'll take a quick look at that again. I'm going to select process 9. It filters on process 9. Then I'm going to select the green check mark to drill down. And now I get individual tasks that are still open, and I can see the number of tasks that are late and still open. And if I wanted to select a particular task, I could then navigate back to my past due sheet, and I can see who has those tasks open for process 9 starting in March of 16. So even though you're filtering on one sheet, I provided some filters on one sheet here of the graphic, those filters apply to all sheets of the dashboard. Okay, so we have a little bit about open tasks and closed tasks from a volume perspective. Now we can take a look at durations. So now we have a task duration overall. So again, these are only items that have been completed because we don't know what the duration of a task is until it has been completed. So we can see how the trend is going. It looks like the task was about taking 1 day. Now these are tasks across all processes. Notice I don't have anything filtered, so this is across all processes. My task durations are trending downward. And you might want to focus as a process owner. You might own one particular process. So let's take a look at process 4 here. Process 4 is actually seeing a trend upwards of task durations overall. So this is not a specific task. These are a summary of all tasks within process 4, the average duration. So we went from 0.25 days, so a quarter of a day, up to more than half of a day. So it just depends. Maybe process 4 doesn't have that many critical tasks, so a half a day or a day might be sufficient. But if you needed a response time of an hour, for a critical ticket that came in, or something broke in the field and you need to send a service repair person to do it, you might be measuring in hours for that process. So it just depends on the process, what your task durations really mean. But it does give you a rolling average of all the tasks. And on this graphic over here, you can see the on-time tasks versus percent versus tasks that were past due. So the blue indicates tasks that have been completed on time, and the red indicate tasks that were completed late. So we can see as we should, a small sliver of red. So we can see, overall we're doing pretty good. If you saw a lot of red, meaning most of your tasks are being completed late, that's a good place to start understanding, what's going on here. Is it certain users that are having problems? Is our estimated duration for that task just too short? We have it listed at 2 days, and it really takes 5 days, even in a best case scenario. So that helps you identify maybe where you want to start your hunt for looking for process improvements. And the yellow bar or the yellow line graph is just a trend of the percentage of tasks that are being completed late overall. So we are up, we're starting at 20% late tasks. That's this y-axis over here is the percentage for the yellow bar. So as the percentage, we can see the trend is going down. Looks like maybe we're about to hit some steady state, traveling around the 5% mark here. So that's a good thing to the trend on. And you could take a look now at your processes to understand. So if I can sort by clicking percent past due tasks, I can get by percentage, and then it looks at process. So I have process 3. There's been 111 tasks, and every one of them has been past due. Okay, so it's like, well, maybe I need to start understanding why process 3 is having so many problems. And I can look at the specific tasks inside that process, and all of them have been late. So maybe we forgot to set the durations in the workflow, and the Winshuttle will default your duration of a task to 1 day, and if you don't update that when you're doing your design, because that's what these dashboards are based off of, the durations that you put in your solutions when you're developing the workflow. And if you fail to update that, the default is 1 day. So sometimes you just get past due task because you forgot to set up the duration appropriately to be maybe 3 or 4 days to reflect more of the reality of the process. But this graphic gives you an idea of what processes are often late. Again, you can drill down, you can select the process and drill down and see what processes are commonly late. Purchasing is having some issues. 40% of the time they're late. What's going on? So you can go talk to the purchasing team to identify any issues with that. Okay, and then the last graphic we have on the task summary side, we can get into detailed tasks. So now we can take a look at individual tasks within a process. So we have the tasks and the number of completed tasks on the left. The average days to complete is the red bar. So we can see we're hovering around, we're all within 1 day here. So we go from 0 to 1 day at the top. And then these are the users that have completed that task. So if we pick a particular task here, let's pick, within process, let's do accounting group, for example. We can see that the accounting group task, whatever that task may be, has had 7 or 8 users to complete the task. And you can see that user, we'll call user 7 over here, user 8 on the end, has completed theirs on an average of 0.27 days. While this user over here is completing them in an average of 1.5 days. So now you can start comparing users within a task to see how people are faring. Hopefully you have a good average and you don't have too many outliers on either end. But you might want to start with this person, like, well, how are you able to get your task done and so quickly? You're the fastest one. What's going on here? Or maybe this is a senior level person and they're expected to do it faster because they have more knowledge. And maybe this is a new person that's just learning, or maybe this person only does it at lunchtime and this person does it every 2 hours. So those are, these graphics are intended to help you not only get answers but understand where to ask questions as well to provide that process improvement. So you can select a particular task within a particular process and compare users. You can see how that trend is going for average duration. This one is ranging from 0 days to 2 days as the average across that year and all of these tasks. So you can see the quantity and the trend of those tasks. All right, and that's the last graphic we have in the dashboard. So in summary, what we're, again, trying to show are 2 stories. So what's happened from a process perspective historically, where can I find process improvement opportunities, and also what's going on now. Who has tasks that are open, who's late on tasks that I need to go slap the yardstick on the desk and say, get going here, or understand maybe there's a roadblock. Quotes aren't coming back, someone else isn't getting their task done that they need to get their job done. So again, these graphics are trying to enable you to provide process improvement as well as move current tasks along the way. So that's all I really had to show on the process BI side. Again, this is, it runs on ClickSense. Many of the customers that we have already have ClickSense, so this is an easy plug and play. Just we add the app to their ClickSense environment and we're good to go. If you don't have ClickSense, again, it's really affordable for this particular Winshuttle limited use only, so you can use the licenses specifically for the Winshuttle workflow tools in the Process BI app at quite an affordable price, and the installation is relatively quick. So by the time we load the software, we're looking 2 to 3 hours. We point to your database, and these graphics are immediately available for you. So from this perspective, this is the out of the box. This is what you get out of the box with Process BI. You do have some inherent features and capabilities with the tool, so everyone that has a Process BI license can also edit the sheets and create a personal diagram of what they want to see. So if they are a process owner for just one particular process, they don't want to open the dashboards and have to find their process and drill in. They might want to preset a filter on their dashboard to encapsulate only the processes that they own that they want to monitor. So every user has the ability to edit the dashboard, but those edits only apply to their local version. So if you wanted to say, oh, I wanted to add a sheet, or I wanted to edit this sheet, you could do that, and each user can do that on their own, but it's their own personal version. They're not, they don't have the ability to edit the master graphic, but they can create their own personalized version locally for them. And as the data updates, their graphics will update as well. So every hour, if you're refreshing the data for the dashboard, those custom ones will happen as well. So it's important to know that people can customize without affecting the master. So everyone can still go to the master and see the same things, but you can customize to your view. Maybe you want a different bar chart, a pie chart, you want things in a different order, or maybe you want filtered only on a specific process for yourself that you're monitoring. There are some other capabilities beyond that get into custom work that we can help you with. So those are things that we just talked about. The graphics that we just saw are out of the box, and you have the ability to customize those graphics with a license as well. So this just reports on the items that Winshuttle captures within the Winshuttle SQL database. So we're talking about process names, task durations, process durations, who did what task, and so on. This does not get into what I call solution level details. So if you're talking about a customer master process, a customer create process, it's not going to tell you how many requests came in for a certain country. So country is an element of the solution. So we can help you create custom dashboards that get even more detailed information on a specific process. The reason it has to be customized is that every solution has its own details. So if you're in a customer space, you have customer name and company code and sales orgs and things like that. But if you're monitoring a material master process, you have different things. You have maybe lead times, plants, MRP controllers. So you have different data elements that can't be summarized and made generic enough for every process. So while we have many features that help you do process improvement on these dashboards, we can go to another custom level to help you identify dashboards within a particular process. How many requests were for company code 5000? How many requests were for purchase order amount over $10,000? Things like that. We can get into those details on a solution by solution level. All right, so that is my my demo on our Process BI side. Let me take a quick look and see if there are any questions. Let me see here. Looks like most of the questions are that you couldn't hear me earlier on. So I apologize for that. Let's see if there are any more questions that are coming in. We'll take 1 minute to allow folks to do that. Okay, I haven't seen any more questions come in at this time, so we'll just continue on with what were our topics for today. All right, so let me hide some of this webinar items here. All right, so upcoming events. October 27th, we have a Lean Utopia event. So Clear Process Solution hosts the Lean Utopia event. Our Lean Utopia events are focused on process improvement in general, across industry, across tools, process agnostic, if you will. It's really a forum for people to network and talk about process issues and unique ways that they're solving their process issues within their company. And it's great. These Lean Utopia events are a great way to meet new people. And it's not a trade event where everyone there is your competitor and you can't talk to them about things because they're your competitor. At these events, we have a good cross section of industries. So it's a great way to meet new people that have similar problems, process ideas and issues that you're not competing against. So it's a great way to meet some people. So this one on October 27th is going to be in Denver. So if anyone's in the Denver area, please feel free to join us at that. And our next web tips is coming up on November 17th, where we'll be talking about Winshuttle Studio. So those are the desktop tools for Winshuttle and SAP. And also on that same day, we have a Winshuttle Hero user group coming up. So that's a Winshuttle sponsored event at Kitchener Lighting in the Cleveland area. All right, so you can register for any of these events at clearprocesssolutions.com and select events, and you can go find those events at that page. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to contact us there. So Winshuttle Web Tips is sort of part of our solution care offering. This is our way to stay in touch with the Winshuttle community, show the folks that we're working with or potentially not working with yet, how to stay current on the Winshuttle tools. What's coming, what's new in the market with Winshuttle, some of the features, how to solve some unique process problems. So WebTips is part of that solution care offering. So all of our solution care customers get free access to the recordings, and I believe other folks do as well. But other things that solution care offers are all of these items here with the green check mark. So when you pay your maintenance to Winshuttle, you're getting three things. You're getting help with production issues, install prep, and product updates. But if you have best practice questions like how do I use this tool, or hey, I have this problem with this process, how can you help me solve it with Winshuttle? There are many other things we do here, and it's not all Winshuttle. We have Process BI that we can help you do dashboarding with. We also support SharePoint and other tools as well. So go to our site, take a look at Solution Care. It's a block offering program where you can subscribe for 10 hours a month, and it's a help desk ticket. You log a ticket, will help you up to the hours per month that you've subscribed to. All right, and this is a little bit about some of the other products that we offer as well. So I'll take a quick look to see if there are any more questions. No more questions at this time. So hopefully you enjoyed this month's session on Process BI. If you have any questions about Process BI, please contact us at our website. You have our contact information there, or you can contact me directly. If you have questions, that's fine too, at lance.yoder@clearprocesssolutions.com. And we can do a demo specifically for you, and it doesn't take that long if we want to do a demo to your management team or to your process team with your data. So if you already have Winshuttle workflow, we can do a quick snippet of data from your database, and we can plug it into our demo tool, and you can see your data and your dashboards as of that time. So that's often a great way to tell the story, is not only looking at the generic data that we just saw, but using your own data, how are your processes working during the demonstration. So that's how we can accommodate those demos. All right, so thanks again for joining for this month's Web Tips. We hope to see you at our events in Cleveland and our next month's Web Tips, and maybe even see you in Denver later in the month. All right, well, take care, everybody, and have a great day.